This segment is sponsored by GSK. As a pediatrician and mom, Dr. Shakha Gillin knows how important it is to be in the know about your teen's health. And she's joining us this morning to shed some light on meningitis B. Good morning, doctor. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So what is this Ask to Be Sure campaign, and why is it personal to you?
So Ask to Be Sure is a health awareness campaign created by GSK to help educate and encourage parents to ask about meningitis B vaccination. I'm a pediatrician and I'm also a mom of an 18-year-old. So I know that many parents are not aware of meningitis B vaccination. And so I'm here to help educate parents about the importance of meningitis B vaccination and also to start that dialogue with their healthcare providers about meningitis B vaccination.
So you mentioned you have an 18-year-old. Are teens and young adults, do they have an increased risk for meningitis B? What does it look like when you're navigating this as a parent alongside their healthcare team?
That's a great question. I'm going to start with a little bit of information about what is meningitis. And meningococcal disease, or meningitis, is a rare but serious infection that can cause significant complications and even death. So the reason why this matters is because 1 out of 10 can die in as rapidly as 24 hours, despite our medical care. And 1 in 5 will end up with permanent damage, such as limb loss, hearing loss, and permanent brain damage. And so the teens and young adults, ages 16 to 23, are at an increased risk, and they're at an increased risk due to normal teen and young adult behaviors. So the things that they normally do. They share water bottles, they share utensils, they practically live on top of each other in small spaces, which puts them at an increased risk.
So how many of these teens and young adults are receiving the vaccine, and what are some of the questions that parents should be asking, or even young adults on their own behalf once they are 18, when they're navigating about vaccinations, especially this one in particular?
Well, surprisingly, so the meningitis B vaccination has been available since 2014 for meningitis B vaccination. And in 2021, 7 out of 10 17-year-olds had not received 1 dose of meningitis B vaccination. So there are 2 different types of meningitis vaccination. There's one type that's given at a younger age against ACWY serotypes, and a different one against meningitis B. And so many teens and parents may think that their child has already had meningitis vaccination, when in fact they've had meningitis ACWY vaccination, but may have missed meningitis B vaccination. And so what should they be asking? What should they be looking at? So that's why we have asktobesure.com. Ask, the number 2, letter B, sure.com. They can go on, teens, parents, they can go on the website, learn about meningitis B, learn about meningitis B vaccination, and also how to have that dialogue with their healthcare providers.
Well, doctor, thank you so much for joining us and sharing a little bit about this vaccination, as well as some resources for parents and young adults to be able to navigate their healthcare journey. Thank you so much for providing your expert insight with our viewers this morning. Well, you can head over to asktobesure.com for more information.